Okay, you know, I'm not concerned so much about, you know, when to stop, when to start. I just stop and then I start again, so that I make switches. Now I can extend this a little again. So, you know, the one who's talking here is basically somewhat Mr. Nice Guy, right? If you'd be my wife, or, you know, in my company, you would realize that it's not just about walking around and being like, ah, you know, it's so nice to go hiking. Ah. No, that's not what it's about at all. What this is about is finding the secret passageways to where you want to be. And we're walking in a maze here, which is why you have to, you know, you have to pick up a scent. You have to pick up a scent. And when I realized I had done all the work that I wanted to do inside, I realized I have to go outside again. And that's often, you know, now I made that. You know, I didn't think about it. I just packed my stuff to go to the boulder hall, which is, I think, still where I'm going. You know, I'll just have to see where I'm gonna get now. I think I'm just extending my passage there, which is nice, like really, really nice, I have to say. Now, I wanted to grab a bucket and collect all these raspberries that are just growing here on the side, but I can't do it. You know, there's too much. And this is a perfect place for me. I mean, I could come here and make a fire. I've never been here. You know what that means? If suddenly an entirely new area opens up to you, and that's like half an hour walking from where I live. You know, I thought getting into nature like this, you know, this was all mowed down. It was all pine trees. Look, it's all coming back again. You know, you don't know what your purpose is until you've lived it for some time. You may have an idea, oh, I think that could be my purpose. But until you start, wow, is this nice or what? Until you start fulfilling your purpose, you know, that's all it's gonna be, an idea. And I wanted this kind of life to be a reality. You know, where I feel like I'm walking on a path here. And at some point, at the end of the trail, somebody's gonna come into focus. Hey, I'm here now. And it's gonna be my wife. You know, it's gonna be someone, you know, that I just think, wow, how nice. We could have a family together. You know, that's what I'm waiting for. You know, I'm not waiting for these women that I meet in the boulder hall and that don't see me. You know, that just see the money I have on my bank account, whether it's a lot or nothing, right? That just see how tall I am or how small. Wow, just look at this. You know, that just know nothing else but the inside of their car, the boulder hall, the office, and maybe occasionally the park. You know, I want to meet someone out here in nature. But I can still go to the boulder hall. But I can walk there. But if I'd meet a woman there, you know, sorry, but I'm just not interested. You know, if you, oh, I think I know where I'm getting now. That's actually nice. That's a nice trail. You know, I'm not quite sure yet, but it might be connected. Actually, where I wanted to get to, you know, let's just see. I don't know yet, but this is a very nice area. It's fairly quiet. You can barely hear anything. Like, this is some place you could just go, right, on any day. because you know it's just 20-30 minutes of walking away, and you know that's nice to say the least. And you know, the song I just made is about no more excuses, right? No more excuses. I mean, I don't have an excuse to not create content, but you could say I have one to create it because I like it. To not make content would mean, wait, do I not like it then? But the truth is I like it. So I assume that's just what I'm gonna do now. I'm just going to continue. Like, they just let it sit here and it's just gonna rot because it was too much. They couldn't all sell it off to, I don't know, China or wherever. And now they just, I mean, it's of course good. I mean, it's good. Because this is, they should leave it. You know, if they would see the value this has for the forest, how many, you know, insects can breed in there, right? You've got insects that breed in there, that pollinate flowers, and then you've got insects that breed in there, or you've got other insects that's gonna eat the insects that have been bred in there. I mean, isn't that... Now we've got a caterpillar, but it seems like it's dead. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. It's just drying out. And I cannot save everyone. I already have a very firm idea about, you know, I can't be with someone who gives into, you know, I'm in a bad mood. I was once with someone and, you know, it could have been a beautiful night. It was raining, like real nice and warm summer rain, and it was raining, and now you just have to leave the uncertainty behind and simply continue. And if at the end of the day you get back home and you've just hiked for a bit, then I would say I think that's nice. You know, because if I keep walking next to the road, you know, I'm just gonna wither away and die, because it's so stressful, it's so terrible. You know, all the noise, the stench, the vibrations, you know, all the shit, like the... You know, I'm just gonna follow the trail now, just see where it leads. You know, I've never walked here, but I'm just gonna keep recording this just so you can see the expression on my face when I finally have an idea of where this is going to lead me. Probably it's gonna lead me down into a trough. But I have the feeling there's also a path there, because I don't want to walk on the road because it's boring and I don't like it. And I don't want to walk like, because that's often how I hike, which is a terrible way. You know, I meet people, or I've met people, you know, that like they went for a hike and then, you know, they wanted to do 30 kilometers, and they went hiking and they were just marching. You know, they wouldn't go off trail. You know, why? Because to them it would be a waste of time. They wouldn't go off trail. They would just have a route, and then every day they would get up and then walk, I don't know, 200 miles. And I think that's the problem I have. You know, I often think that I have to hike in a very certain way. I mean, that I have to cover great distances. That I have to, you know, bring all this food, but I could just bring water, and I could just bring tea, and I could just walk, you know, into the thickness of the bush. Because come on, I mean, there's no lions here. There's no, I mean, there's deer and maybe like wild boars. But there's nothing here. Okay, what am I supposed to do with this feather? I'm still waiting for what you may call a paycheck. Maybe I'm not here for going bouldering after all. Because if I would be in Africa, they sometimes put up snares for animals. And, right, there'd be poisonous snakes or venomous snakes. Right, at night there'd be scorpions. Wow. This is nice. This is really nice. I'm gonna start doing these things, but the problem is, you know, why not do it now? I always think about do it tomorrow. But what if tomorrow is bad weather? But at the same time, I'm not paying attention. I'm here now, right? You know, I'm here now. But I have somewhere else to be, and that's the point. If I am sidetracked too much away from this is what I set out to do, then I'm not gonna get anywhere. You know, I can come back here. I know now this place exists. I can come back here tomorrow. Right, now it's about figuring out where this leads. And that's just also an emotional place. You know, I'm not just walking, and that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not just walking, you know, I'm following a place in my heart. Because, you know, there's an energetic trace of someone. But, you know, I don't walk, I assume, the same places she did. Because I am looking for a woman of someone I feel like I've met before. Okay? And I could stop anytime. But it's just about, you have to keep moving, right? If being at home is starting to get a real drag and you really hate it, then maybe you just have to change something, right? Maybe you just have to go somewhere else. Now this is quite steep, but there's another feather, and this is all I need, you know? When I'm not sure where I'm going, I just keep looking for simple things that spark something in me, right? Like something that sparks the trust. And to me, the distance that I'm walking now, I mean, that's like the way to Mount Doom. And I cannot say that it's actually beneficial, that I can go back to... Yeah, I really feel like I want to do rapé, but there's just none. I asked someone for it, for the work I did in his place, but he didn't give me any, which is why I stopped the work. And I'm thinking about taking it away altogether, but I don't think that's possible. But that's how people are, right? They think, I don't need you, I can do this without you. But you cannot. And that's what most people don't get. You cannot do shit alone. You know, you always need something. You know, if you're a woman and you want to have a child, you need a man. And then you can say, no, I don't. I can just go to a, you know, just have a sperm donor. Yeah. And where did the sperm come from? Exactly. From a man. So you still need a man. Whether the man is there or the man is somewhere else, you need a man. And, you know, some women and some men, they just get into this place, you know, where they're so sick of relationships that they either become gay, transgender, or just like me, where they say, you know, fuck it. You know, fuck it. There's no one, you know. Who I'm looking for does not exist. Who I'm looking for does not exist. I thought she might. And then you think she doesn't exist. And then you sit at home and you live in this place like everybody else. And that's what I said about my neighbor. She sends me sometimes weird vibes where she like seems to talk herself into us having a relationship or something, you know, because we share the hallway. She gets into this delusion that, you know, we're gonna have sex because, you know, it's like our apartment. She said that to me once, you know, oh, it's our apartment. It's like, no, it's not. It's fucking yours. You know, I don't like it that I have to go through your hallway. You know, I like it in a way, but, you know, if you talk to me and you say things like, oh yeah, I heard you singing the other evening. You know, I was getting ready for bed and you were there singing, and I was like, yeah, and? You know, if you're really deep in hatred, if you have a lot of hatred in yourself and you don't allow yourself anything, you know what that means? I mean, you want to know what that means? Yeah, I can tell you what that means. It means that you're living in a prison. And that if suddenly, you know, it doesn't matter if you have a job and leave the house, but you're inside, you're in a prison. Which means that if you get a young and sexy neighbor, you know, you start getting greedy for that guy. And you start thinking, you know, living in this world in your head, because you never basically leave the house, you don't have hobbies. What you do is you listen to the radio and you watch TV. You know, that's all you do. And so you just sit around and you feel shit. And then suddenly you have a neighbor and you think, oh wow, you know, he could stuff me. That's the truth. I'm gonna go down now, further down here. Or I'm just gonna keep going straight, because I know where to go from here. Yeah, one more break.